Member for Hawthorn.
Thank you, Speaker. I rise tonight to raise a matter for the Minister for Planning, and the matter I raise is whether the Minister for Planning can join me to meet with a number of groups in my electorate to discuss the government's recent planning changes. And in particular, my constituents and I want to talk about the impact of the government's planning takeover on areas like the electorate I represent of Hawthorn. I think we all understand in this place and across the community that we need more housing in this state. In fact, we need housing across the country, indeed across the world. We see many parts of the world that are struggling with the provision of housing. So no one is arguing against the proposition that we need more housing. But I've said previously in this chamber and elsewhere in the community that I think one of the challenges the government has is to address what are emerging and in some cases long-standing inequities in the way the state's capital program has been rolled out over a large number of years. And tonight I don't propose to single any one side of politics out. I think it is a general challenge that we have in this state, that we have parts of Melbourne and outer Melbourne in particular that are in desperate need of more infrastructure to support what are growing communities. And if I go to a citizenship ceremony in Casey or out in Wyndham or Melton, or any other of the areas of our state that are growing at enormous rates with new Australians in particular who are just excited and aspirational and they want the best for their families and the communities. You look around those areas and for a long time there has been a dearth of public transport, a dearth of the kind of community infrastructure, not just roads and public transport, all manner of things, community halls, places where people can meet and congregate and engage in normal social activities, that they don't have that. So one of the concerns I have is not just for my area and the area I represent, because I don't believe you can double the number of dwellings and also make commensurate investments in the infrastructure that will support the populations that go with that. At the same time, if you persist down that policy path, you are also neglecting those growth corridors in particular, but not solely, of the infrastructure they will need. And I looked at the government's capital program for the next financial year. There's about $21.3 billion or so that's invested in infrastructure. Most of it is in large projects. The new projects that are coming online don't appear to be addressing a lot of the choke points right around the growth corridors of Melbourne and in the regions that want more growth but need that infrastructure investment. There is a balanced way to deliver the housing that our state needs, but done wrongly, concentrating it in places where you can't meet it with new infrastructure while also neglecting those growth corridors that miss out, it means that we all lose out and we can do better.